About a year ago, I sat in my office reacting to a video that Azzy had shared with me. A video that I had no way of knowing was going to come to mean so much more than it did even then. Who we are in life is a journey. Nobody knows from the time that they're born who they're going to be at the time that they die. Every day is a journey and an adventure leading us closer and closer every day to what we can only hope is a happy life. And I am extremely proud of my child for taking the journey to discovering what happiness means for them. So a year later, and as probably the last video on the channel for the year, I invite you to join Azzy and I once again as we revisit the real thing.
I shared this a year ago because you posted it in Nate's Discord. Hi guys, by the way. I'm joined by the kid.
Hi.
So let's say it.
How do I say it?
However you want to say it, bud.
Help! I'm a man trapped in a woman's body.
Aw. 1 year later, I'm a man.
1 year later, you're a man. And a pretty damn cool man at that. A lot of people ask me why you're not in videos anymore. They do miss you, so...
Oh my god, it's because I look like I either look like a masculine woman or
a
feminine
tiny man.
No, a tiny, like, prepubescent little boy.
Wow.
I only have one good picture of me, and it's like a side profile.
And I have to ask, was this like an attempt to slowly but surely bring me to what you were thinking to be the truth about you, or...
Shockingly, at the time it was not. At the time, I was gender fluid, and I refused to use he, him pronouns because I was scared of them.
Why?
I was a small trans man in denial, and yeah, it shockingly was not. My hinting to you was at Target, walking past the trans stuff, and I said, "Oh, there's a trans flag here," and you went, "Are you trying to tell me something?" No, I just think it's pretty.
Why is it that every time you've decided that you're going to share a little bit of yourself with me, that it's at fucking Target?
I don't know.
But I kind of pre-watched a little bit of it. And I probably still will cry, but I wanted to get some of that out of my system before watching it with you. And it felt wrong listening to my reaction to it now. Because A, I was on camera, and ain't nobody want to see that. But I kept talking about how much I loved you and how proud I was of you. And it's not that that's changed after a year, but I kept saying she, and it just felt so wrong.
At the time it wasn't, but now it
No, it wasn't. But the minute you finally said to me that I want to try he him pronouns, starting to say he and starting to say my son, that felt right even to me.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story, and I guess why, when you suggested revisiting this, that I kind of was all on board with doing it, is figuring out who you want to be in life is a journey. And that journey isn't just about, what do I want to do as a career? Where do I want to live? Who do I want to spend my life with? Do I want to have pets? Am I a cat person or a dog person? Who you are is something that kind of takes time to figure out too. I know, I'm going to cry because I'm proud of you. And watching your journey and seeing how thoughtful you were about everything that you decided for yourself, I knew by the time we went to Target and had a conversation that it was going to be accurate and true, something that you had thought about. You weren't just like, ooh, being gender fluid is on trend and I want to do that.
Yeah. It's the pipeline. It's the transgender pipeline.
But like, you kind of have to you dip the toe, and then you go ankle deep, and then you dive fucking head first.
That's pretty much what happened.
Watch Bingo and Bluey. Watch Bingo and Bluey. Watch Bingo
So, tell me, Ebenezer, are you happy with the path that you have chosen?
Huh?
Jesus.
What did I do?
Can you pay attention
No.
for like a solid 2 minutes?
No, it's an issue, and I think I need to get that checked out.
Are you happy with the path that you have chosen?
Thus far, yeah.
So, you probably know this better than anybody, too. Because not everybody is going to have the system that you have of support.
Mm.
Because your school is very welcoming. Your friends are very welcoming. You have, pretty much... You have a lot of friends that are on their own similar journeys and in similar ways and things, and
It's a mixture of people. We've got a lot of...
Yeah. Is there anything... And this is something that I want to hear, too. Is there anything that you think is important for kids to share with their parents in their coming out journeys?
That's really hard to say, because it depends on the kid, because you never know the situation of the people.
Yeah.
But... That one's just kind of impossible to say, because it's going to be different for everyone.
Could I have handled yours differently?
No.
Because I'll be honest with you, I look back on the pan conversation at Target, and I actually feel bad about it. Because, as much as it shouldn't be a big deal, and it shouldn't be like, oh my god, my child is pansexual, I should have paused and told you that I was okay with it, and that I accepted it, and that I was happy that you were figuring yourself out, and instead I was like, hey, let's keep shopping, and, it wasn't
I get that.
It wasn't me dodging the conversation, but that's how irrelevant to me it was. Like we said when we sat down the first time, it's so important that you know who you are, but it's abso-fucking-lutely not important because it doesn't change how I feel about you.
Yeah.
So we're walking through Target, right?
With a friend who... Ooh, I don't like her no more because she was a jerk. Okay, continue.
Either way, we're walking through Target with one of her old friends, and she just randomly asks me, do you know what pansexual is? I'm like, kind of, because with when you were going to your old school, there were a lot of people who were different. We were associated with somebody who was transsexual. We were associated with somebody who identified as a lesbian. So I was learning those gender norms because your friends are my kids, and I accept them as my own. And so kind of, I kind of understand what it is. And you're like, would you have any problem with me having a friend that's pansexual? I'm like, why would I care? We've got trans boy over here. We've got bush lesbian girl over here. We've got pretty lesbian girl over here. Why would I care? And she's like, okay. What if I were? I'm like, what of it? She's like, well, I think I am. Okay. Do you like this shirt?
And then you literally go, how did you know? And I was like, I don't know. I just am. I look at Miko and I go, ooga.
So, in the moment it was like, okay, cool.
You literally just continue. You're like, hey, do you like this shirt? I mean, I understand what you mean, but I knew that you weren't just brushing it off. If it were anyone else, I would probably have been like,
That's
ouch,
fucking rude.
ouch. But there is a certain amount of calmness that I want with stuff, and also sometimes stuff like that, it's gonna be slower, it's gonna be, less over the top. It's kind of hard to explain, but, I remember 8th grade, when I came out as trans, right at the end of the year,
Mm-hmm. God, 8th grade feels so long ago now.
Yeah. I remember, being in a friend group, and it was mostly all trans kids, and I thought, well, if I'm gonna be trans, I know that no one's really going to actually see me as a guy, so I'm not gonna expect myself to be around with, cis people. Because I just, at the time, I thought, well, I mean, the cis people will probably stick with the cis people, and the trans people are gonna stick with the trans people. And then, little did I know,
No.
A couple years later. Well, that's like 1-ish year. Like, well, technically 2. In 10th grade, there is...
Your group has a little bit of everything.
There is a little bit of everything, but
There's some
it's
cis, there's some
mostly-
straight, there's some gay, there's some bi, there's some trans, there's some fluid.
But if I'm thinking at, like... See, the hard part is thinking of, like, what my sole friend group is. Because I've got a lot of friends, and there are a lot of trans people, but I think it's actually mostly cis people, and they're mostly cis guys, and I never thought I'd get to a point where I've got cis friends that are guys, and they just see me as
another one of the guys.
another one of the guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And
you
that-
are.
I wasn't hanging out with at least, like, 2 or 3 of them when I came out as trans. But the second I turned trans, they were like, just like, oh, yeah, sure.
When I was in high school, there were friends that were gay. Mm-hmm. Chris is still one of my absolute best friends. I absolutely love her. But it was one or the other. There wasn't really as much understanding as we have now of these little subtle nuances where I don't think that any one person, if they really looked at, I don't know how many there are. How many
I couldn't tell you either.
Right. How many different gender classifications there are, and the subtle nuance between some of them, I don't think that being 100% straight as an arrow straight would be the case for a majority of people now. Pieces of your gender are so subtle and so nuanced, and I think we're finally starting to understand that.
Mm-hmm. And people are also... This is actually kind of a nice part of the LGBT community it was just LGBT. It was a lesbian, gay, bi, and trans. That's all it was. And now we've, people kind of forget that technically you can be straight and still be a part of the community because, asexual people are still in there.
And allies are still considered...
They're not a part
not
of the
a part of the
community,
but welcome to support the causes
Exactly.
and be there. But
People
now,
forget that the whole reason that there's even pride events is because of Black trans women.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this, and I might have to say it louder again for the people in the back. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of this, unfortunately social media can be a good place to learn things and a toxic place to learn things. People have kind of, like, what I'm seeing from the public perspective is, why is it so in my face right now? Why is it that everywhere I turn, there's some gay person trying to, sell me on the fact that it's okay and blah, blah, blah. How quiet was Malcolm X? How quiet was Martin Luther King? When you are polarized, when you are made to feel less, your voice has to get louder until you gain the acceptance that you deserve. And if these people would, instead of complaining about the gay they're seeing on their Twitter timeline, maybe did some research, maybe dug into some science, maybe listened to something like this, and thought about the fact that, if we just accept that no one person is going to fit into the exact same mold as another, we are all unique unto ourselves. It's ironic that they're called snowflakes, because every snowflake is different. Every fingerprint is different. Every person is different. So instead of trying to fit this mold of, you have to be this, marriage is a man and a woman with 2.5 kids, and they have their little station wagon, and they go to soccer practice, that hasn't been the case for a really long time.
Yeah.
And when I had a daughter, I loved my daughter. Glitter and gymnastics and dance recitals and hair in a bun and, buy me this doll and whatever. I loved my daughter. Doesn't mean I stop loving you just because you finally figured out who you are. I am not the same person that I don't do glitter, I don't do dance recitals, I don't do gymnastics. I did all that stuff when I was a little girl. Now the hardest decision I make in a day is which flannel pajama pants do I want to wear, and high ponytail or low ponytail. You are still that kid. Your gender doesn't define who you are. Your sex doesn't define who you are. You're my child. You're very smart. You're very kind. You're very vocal and outspoken in defending not just yourself, but your friends. You don't take shit from anybody. And I am proud of you. And when I watched this the first time, my perspective on it was slightly different. And I want to watch it with you again. Because it means a little more now.
Just slightly.
Just slightly. Just slightly. It's just, gender's reversed. But I want to do this again with you as we close out 2022. One of still my top 10 videos of all time on my channel. The message at the end will probably be the same for me as it was back then, but we're going to watch it together. We'll react as we go a little bit, because there's not much talking that happens in it. And then we'll catch on the flip side and talk about the ending. There is music though, but it's so cute. That is the straightest man I've ever seen. I've tried to see if I could figure out the rest of the letter. Mm-hmm. It will be a big change for all of us. Yeah. Hey, Ellie, have a great day. Love, Mom. That's a good mom. And that's a good friend. Oh, she's not that great at putting barrettes in either. It's like halfway down. Click. See, the kids don't care, so,
But they're just kids, so they don't know any better.
Kids are usually smarter than we are, and we ruin them by trying to change their minds. It's so cute. And I love how throughout this entire thing too, he's holding a picture of Robert. Mm-hmm. You never see the face of it. You just see the illusion of this little boy in that picture. Because that kid's not Robert anymore. And he's smart. Her handwriting is nicer than yours.
Oh, shut up.
That bed looks really fluffy and comfy. Can you tell I need a nap? I'm like, oh, I sleep with that bed. That's a pretty cool room. Like, not gonna lie. Like, Mom went
All out.
all out. And that's what you do, right? Like, anytime like, Mom, I want this. Mom, I need a Ghost t-shirt. Mom, I need XIX merch.
Oh, yes, I do.
Like, this is clearly a smart little girl, too. Like, a 97 on that test, and blue ribbons, and ballet slippers. Like, the subtle little... She looks terrified.
Well, it's understandable.
Yeah. I will cry. That's how you do it. Wait for it.
Hi, Allie.
Winning Dad.
You messed me up!
Are you crying too?
No.
Oh. Hi, Azzy.
Oh my god.
I love you.
You put that in the video, I'll kill you.
I'm gonna put it in the video.
No, please don't.
So that's how you parent. That's how you parent. I would like to figure out who plays Allie. If they say. Michael's probably the... Sophia Grace Gianna. That's a badass name. I must say. Andrew Matthews can die in a fire. Anyway. So, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, what is the most important thing about being a human being in your eyes?
Don't care. You got it, like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's, care, but not to a certain extent. Don't, like, I think one of my biggest pet peeves currently is this whole, like, cringe culture thing. Like, okay, I get it. Some people are just like, you look at them and you go, ooh. But, like, I'm not gonna go up to them and I say, you're so weird. I'm gonna say, you know what? Not for me. For them, not for me.
Right.
Like, I don't think sticky iPad kids are cool. I don't like that they don't wash their little screens and their little fingers. They stick when they touch their iPads and they, yell at people over Roblox voice chat. But, like, if they're happy,
That
they're
seems
happy.
very specific.
Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
At the end of the day, when all is said and done, this is a harsh fact. If life goes the way life is supposed to go, one day you will be here, and I will not. So why should you live an existence that makes me happy and you miserable? When one day you're going to be stuck in your misery, and I'm not here to be happy about it. Mm-hmm. Your happy should be what makes me happy. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Your past couple of school pictures, you're smiling. Not because somebody said, say cheese, but because I think you finally know who you are. And to have that at 15 is truly a fucking blessing. I'm 41. I don't know who the hell I am. Other than your mom, and that's always been enough. But again, you're 15. I have 2.5 years left of my quote-unquote time. Because I've appreciated every second of my sentence that I've been served with you. But you're in a place, even now, at not quite 16, where I know when you graduate from high school, you're going to go to some big, expensive college. Thank you for scholarships. You're going to do big, important things in the world. And as much as I've tried to be a good parent and instill good things in you, you 100% take the credit for who you are. I didn't make you what you are. I gave you a heartbeat. What you choose to do with the life that I gave you is you get to live it and be happy. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Are you happy?
Yes. I'm sorry.
What?
I don't know. I just randomly felt the need to laugh.
You don't do well with sensitive stuff.
I really don't.
You're such a dude. Like, this is my last video of 2022. And you've been there since video 1. So it seems only fair that you be with me for the last one of the year. Thank you for hanging out with me.
Talk like a normal human being.
Thank you for hanging out with me. Well, thank you for being a part of, God, almost 3 years.
Wink.
Mm-hmm.
There's no camera.
And thank you for being a part of almost 16 years. I'm glad you exist. You are, as I say at the end of a lot of my videos, you're valid. And you are important. And you are perfect just the way you are. Thank you, good son of mine, for your support. Thanks to everybody who for some reason watches the chaos that is us. And I guess more of the spooky in 2023 and more of the Azzy in 2023. Should we close this out like we did with Watch the Film? How do we say goodbye?
Goodbye.
There you go. Goodbye.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his VENATOS.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
With the spooky season officially at a close, giving way to the holiday season, there's never been a better time for the members of the Press Start family to check out longtime channel sponsor VENATOS. They truly have beautiful products and amazing customer service that I've been gushing about for nearly 2 years now. So if you're looking for that perfect gift for your family and friends, look no further than VENATOS. And as always, as an added incentive to all of the Press Start family members, VENATOS is offering their 10% discount on every order when you use my code PressStartMom at checkout. You'll get good quality products to share with your family and friends, and you will get their 100% commitment to excellence with their outstanding customer support team. So what are you waiting for? As you start your holiday shopping, make sure to add Venatos.com to one of your holiday stops. And make sure you use code PressStartMom at checkout to get that 10% off. You can thank me later. Enjoy your holiday season, one and all. Watch Bingo.